Today we're going to dive into a very horrifying story of Dr. Stan. This will be a brief story. If you want full detailed video, do comment for it. Deep in the heart of Louisiana, in the swamps where ancient trees speak in hushed tones that echo back from one to another again and again, thereby merging with whispers which seem to come from far away. A story too evil to ignore sprouted up 59 years ago, as if out in the middle of nowhere. A tale told everywhere about everyone over time, until I wearied of hearing it myself. At right is a picture of the Jade Lock, a traditional timepiece. Of what year is the story? Set instance, introduced by Dr. Satan, was a figure that, just to mention his name, he was giving little children nightmares. Long ago, Dr. Satan had been a famous doctor, but since he died is still a mystery known only by a few. To his patients, he was a caring and very scientifically trained doctor. But below this veneer hid a dark soul which would eventually express itself as something unspeakably dreadful and terrifying. In the first decade of the 20th century, strange tales began to circulate quietly. In this small town, people began to disappear as if they had never existed at all. Men, women, and even children were gone, their fate unknown, frighteningly silent. When a hunter discovers shallow graves deep in the forest, the townspeople are at their most frightened. The missing person's mutilated bodies are unearthed and buried in wet earth with grotesque deformities. Authorities have found Dr. Satan lair bidden under what seemed to be home that man lived a poor and indifferent life. A torture chamber, which had been thrown together out of old medical instruments, lay there grimly beneath the house, awaiting Inspector Glasscock's arrival. Every single one numbered up its own story in agony or terror. Although it was clear enough with what was left of his name, and the forlorn traces left his actions, Dr. Satan disappeared at this point for good. Up to this day, it is said that the spirits of those whom he murdered haunt the swamps around this town, a permanent reminder of agony that once held it in terror.